Hey everybody, welcome to the Friday edition of Box Seats. I'm your host, Frank Holder. I'm sitting up here with Talent and Fig, comedians who've been in the game for a very long time. Like I say every day, these guys have been in the comedy game for a long time, from comedy specials, comedy shows, comedy films, comedy commercials, and now they're in something that we even call a comedy sports show. So first of all, how are you guys doing today? How's everything?
Hey man, I'm on the top of my game today. You think it's a game? Look at the hat. Bust the hat. Bust the shirt. Bust the mug. Huh? I'm on sale today, Frank.
You ain't playing, Talent. Fig, what's going on? How you guys?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Talent got on all red. I think it's a fire sale.
Well, hey guys, thank you for joining, taking the time out to do the show. I greatly appreciate it. Later up, coming up this hour, we got Rodney Perry. We even have a guest coming up today, and I'll tell you who the guest is when it's time for the guest to come on in. But first of all, let me get this COVID report started. First thing for the COVID report, you know I do that every day. Myles Garrett has now on the reserve COVID-19 list. He will not be playing Sunday versus the Eagles. And this morning, it was discovered that 3 Giant players were tested positive from the same virus. And as we say every day, and I know y'all are sick and tired of hearing it, well, I'm sick and tired of saying it, it's COVID is a COVID report every day. But speaking of the NFL, isn't it? I mean, you guys know this. Speaking of NFL, we got to talk about the game last night. I took a bath on that one, man. So, Talent, when we saw Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals play last night, I don't know who you picked. I had Arizona. I really thought Arizona was gonna pull it out.
We all picked Arizona.
Yeah, we all went down with that, bro. I had got busy towards the end, so I don't know what the final was. I just know we lost.
Let me ask you this: you think Russell Wilson showed up last night, or what?
Well, it's about time.
Mm-hmm.
It's about time. I said that watching the first 2-3 quarters. I was saying that when they were warming up, coming out, I said, watch, because I picked Arizona. This be the night he put his britches on. You know what I mean? He said, put your big boy britches on. Finally, little man, you come out there, you showed up and you showed out. I'm not mad that I was wrong. I'm actually happy. Maybe I could bet on him again now.
I hear you. Fig, I was surprised that Seattle's defense showed up, because the last 5 or 6 games that I watched them, their defense was been like Casper the Ghost. So were you surprised like I was surprised? Because I was like, these dudes actually stopped. They stopped Arizona several times. What was your thought?
Yeah, they did, but I was looking at Russell Wilson and him. I hate to make excuses or take anything away from a team that wins, but I think Arizona beat themselves, man. I think they had maybe like 10 penalties for over 100, maybe 112 yards. I mean, it was false starts. Seattle got a safety off of a false start. I was like, I haven't seen that since like never. It was crazy. The amount of mistakes.
You know what? I think you're absolutely right. Remember the play when they were fighting and the dude threw the punch and that penalty? Remember that play? That gave them 7 points. You know what I mean? Because Seattle got the penalty. I didn't mean to cut you off, but that gave them 7 points. And if you look at the final score, they lost by 6 points.
So I was. It's like. You know what? It's a combination. Russell Wilson. I don't want to take anything away. Russell Wilson and Metcalf did their thing, but man, the penalties. That does not happen, Frank. Feather in your cap. That does not happen to a Bill Belichick type team. You're not going to give away 100 yards in penalties. That was absolutely ridiculous. It was just like every time they got a little momentum going, it was another penalty. It was ridiculous. I was like, man. But kudos to Russell. You know what I mean? He did his thing. I called Ciara. She was like, look, I put him on punishment. I didn't give him none. So his legs should be strong for this game. And I should have just go ahead and bet with Seattle, knowing that when a man nuts is full, he's pretty strong.
But hold up, you got a point there. She strikes me as the type of woman that you ain't gonna keep losing in this house.
Yeah. It's funny too, when I was watching the game, Arizona had so many penalties, they were going the opposite direction. Every time they would go 5 to 7 yards, they got a penalty, and they'd go 10 yards back. They do something else, they go 15. I'm like, these dudes, they couldn't. I saw at least 4, I think it was 4 false starts in a row. I was like, this is driving. It was driving me nuts.
They couldn't get out of their own way, man. And that's it's definitely it's not on Kyler.
Yeah.
Last night was not on Kyler Murray. You know what I mean? Because that wasn't his fault. It was like the line. It was like the offensive line got most of the penalties. And like you said, Frank, that fight, I was like, come on, man. What was that, like 15 yards? There was a couple like 15-yard penalties. I was like, man, that is a momentum and a backbreaker, especially when you play in a team in your division that's a rival. You know what I mean? And Seattle's a formidable opponent. And Seattle just
the penalty, I don't know if you saw it, Talent, but the penalty was on 4th down. They were getting ready to punt the ball. They got the penalty that gave them 1st down, and then of course 15 yards. The next thing you know, Seattle's in the 5. You know what I mean? And then they go and score. If that was me, I know one thing that would have never happened in New England. Bill Belichick would have cut that dude the next morning. He would have woke up. He would have had a pink slip on there, and he would have been fired because you just don't do that. Several coaches would have did that. You know, you just don't do that. But anyway, other news I found this morning that Taysom Hill, quarterback from New Orleans Saints, he's getting a start this weekend over Jameson Winston. Now, I don't know about y'all, but if I'm Jameson Winston, I'm kind of sitting there kind of salty saying, how y'all gonna start this dude over me? I've been in the league for a while, you know, but maybe he's not gonna say anything. Maybe he's gonna go along with the best of the team. But when you hear that, what do you think?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I got to change my ticket. You know, that just screwed my ticket up the way I was betting. So first of all, let me pull that ticket back. Yeah, I don't know, man. Didn't I just say that this was going to be his moment these next 3-4 weeks for him to change all the perception, you know, and optics on him, you know, up until this point. For them to go in another direction, he's not even going to be the starter. I don't know what to think about that.
Right.
I mean, that's the power of hatred right there, man. Like, that's some blocking stuff right there, bro. Like, how is he now? What the hell happened from last Sunday to now for them to announce he's not going to be the starting quarterback?
Or how bad is he really in practice? You know what I mean? Like, because, you know, the coach makes his head, you know, the decision. How bad is Jameson Winston really doing? We were talking before that he had LASIK eye surgery. He should be on target and everything else, but maybe he's not doing that well in practice because, as we all know, right, Fig? As we all know, practice is what you do in practice is what you do gets put you on the field on Sunday. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Man, the thing is that, put it to you this way. He played well whatever he was doing prior, he did well enough to get into the game. He was the first person that the coach called to go in the game when Drew went down. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, so now what happened? You know what I mean? I don't like it, man. You know what? Call me not the Pelican brief because that's you, Frank, but the conspiracy theorist. Every time it seems like a Brown quarterback. It seems like there's no second chances almost, you know what I mean? Or few and far between. I just don't know. I don't see Jameis Winston is that bad of a player. I mean, he had his stumbles when he was in Tampa, but you had some bad plays, but you had some great plays. You know, as bad as he was, he threw for over 5,000 yards, man. That is.
Yeah, but if you go 5,000 picks, that don't mean nothing. You know
I understand, but I mean, still, there was an 8-8 team. It wasn't that great of a team. The team is much better now. The team that Tom Brady has now is nowhere near the team that Jameis Winston had to work with. He didn't have those, like, even half that many weapons, and the line is better. It's just like I don't like the amount of opportunities that this young player is getting, and I think it could be career crushing, and I really don't like it because the quarterback, what's the quarterback they put in this place? He's like a running quarterback. He reminds me of like a Tim Tebow. He can run the ball. He's big and strong. You know what I mean? But how is his throwing skills? We haven't seen anything about his passing skills. I'd like to see Jameis Winston get a shot, man. Basically, I mean, get a shot with a decent team.
Hey, with that being said, we all got nicknames officially now. We got Pelican Brief, we got Conspiracy King, and Mr. Analogy.
Yes. There you go. I like that. Because you know what? It's true for all of us. That's very true for all of us.
And on that,
we got.
I'll toast to that.
All right. Now we're talking about the NBA because some stuff has been happening in the NBA because we know free agency is getting ready to happen tonight. Breaking news in the NBA is the Toronto Raptors are going to be playing this upcoming season in Tampa. So, Talon, I'm going to say this to you. I'm real upset if I'm a Toronto Raptor player with my whole team and everything else. We don't have no fans in Tampa. We couldn't play in Detroit. We couldn't play in somewhere where at least some fans are close to being there, and we have to play in the opposite side of the world. That's how I'm feeling right now when I see that news. What's your thought?
Yeah, but isn't it supposed to be fanless?
Yeah, but still.
So I mean that's the argument there. It's like you can't cry fans if there's no fans.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good point. Very good point.
So if it's all televised and we're not doing any fans, even though we're playing in these stadiums and arenas, I think that argument flies right out the window. Because if I'm playing in Toronto, only thing you could kind of complain about is your family or your house. But as far as fans go, if I wasn't going to allow to have fans at the game anyway, all we need is a rim and a backboard, correct? Some parquet.
Yeah, all you need is a court with 2 rims. You know, that's all you need. Fig, when you get that
from the hood, all you need is a big piece of wood and a plastic crate with the bottom cut out.
Right. What you thought when you hear this, Fig?
You know what? I agree with Talent. If it's going to be fanless, I agree 100% that I don't see the disadvantage. But one thing that I did hear when I was watching the I forgot what show. And I was watching NBA report. Joe Lacob from Golden State Warriors said that they had a system in place where they thought they could get half their fans into the arena safely because they had rapid COVID testing that was going to be available, and you'd be able to get the results on the day of the game. So they thought that they might be able to get half their fans. Now, if the rest of the league adopts this testing kind of program, and players are able and teams are able to get fans in, then it would be a disadvantage to the Toronto Raptors. But here's the thing: technically, they're out of the country. You know what I mean? Toronto is in Canada. You know what I mean? That's like the hardest trip to make from certain places on in America. Like if you're on a West Coast team, if you got to play in Toronto, that's difficult. And they're going to play with that whole traveling thing. So I don't know. It could work, maybe not.
Okay, let's move on. Let me ask you. And I'm not even going to start with Talent on this one. I always start with Talent on this one, but I'm not starting with you this one because I already know what you're going to say. So I'm going to start with Fig on this one. Anthony Davis is not going to sign with the Lakers today. He's going to wait to see his options or what's going out there. I know what you're going to say, Talent. So I'm going to Fig first. Fig, don't tell me you're going to say something about New York too, because you going to say something about New York too, Fig? I'm gonna have to skip. I'm gonna have to skip this.
You know what? Listen, look, it's kind of scary. I'll tell you like this. I think it's a smart move on. Who's that, Doc?
I don't know. It's a New York Knicks player.
Yes, sir. That's Clyde. That's Clyde.
I can't see it. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's
go
Clyde.
ahead.
It's the reflection, but that's Clyde Frazier. Yeah, that's Clyde Frazier.
Oh, yeah, that's Clyde
but let me
Frazier,
tell you like this. I say it's smart on on AD's part simply because you don't know what the Lakers are going to be able to do to acquire players to put around you. LeBron James last year was 35. This is his 18th season. He's going to be 36 years old. Anthony Davis, I don't think, wants to be there by himself. So I think he's sort of playing his cards, a little bit. But then again, Talent did say that AD was coming to New York. I'd like to see that. If it's
I'm a Zen master. This is Zen.
Talent.
Is that the Zen master? Is that Phil?
Yeah, that's Phil Jackson. It's Talent. Honestly, the word is that he's going to re-up with the Lakers. He's just looking at the market. Are you going to stick with your story and say that you see him still coming to the Knicks? You going to stick with that?
I'm going to sit here and say, Frank, am I wrong that there's a chance right now? Am I wrong, given all you know right now? No, are you going to sit here and say there's a zero chance?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I can't say that.
So my thing is this. You think we're not going to jump out the window and make as much peeling case for ourselves as like everybody else? We cleared $40 million today we released 6 players.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all know that. We cleared.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all know that. The Knicks have released 6 players as of this morning. Yeah. Which clears over $40 million.
I'm just gonna say one thing. Rodney Perry's gonna have a field day with this. That's all I'm saying.
You think I care about Rodney Perry having a good time? I care about my team is making moves.
Yes, sir.
Now, you can say what you want to say. This is the same Rodney Perry who supports the Chicago Bears. Enough said.
Okay.
The Knicks of the football league.
There you go. That's it.
I'm gonna throw this out there too, because Rodney Perry gonna love this one, and he's gonna have a field day with this one too. But rumors are Carmelo Anthony got an offer to return to the New York Knicks this morning.
I've seen that.
So, do you think that that's a great move? Are you happy to hear that as a Knicks fan, or are you like, I don't know if I want Melo to come back to the Knicks? What do you think?
I would love to see Melo back at the Knicks for a number of reasons. One being, Melo's at a stage in his career. Let's say Melo got a good 3 years left. Melo's at a stage in his career where he has definitely honed his shot, like really, really zeroed in on the shot instead of the drive, so we can use the shooting. But more importantly, he was wronged. He was caught in a real bad situation. He was wrong the way he exited, and we don't like that. Normally, when we ready to get rid of you, we have no problem with that. But when you do something dirty and send a loved playoff, New York loves Carmelo. You can't front on that. They hated what happened, how it happened. He's at the last, hurrah of his career. I would love to see him end that and hang that jersey here in the Raptors and close that out. Win, lose, or draw, I like him back here.
Okay, Fig, what you think?
Yeah, man. Melo wasn't he wasn't a problem in New York. You know what I mean? It was he had friction with management. And I don't even think it was with Dolan. I don't think Carmelo's problem. I think Melo's problem was with Phil and the direction that the team was going and stuff like that. If he wants to come back, I mean, Knicks, we loved him in New York. He's a shooter. He's a player. He's at the end of his career. I'll tell you one thing. He's a consummate professional, and he'd be good in a locker room for the young players that we drafted.
That's true.
It would be something to see Melo with Oben, that kid they just got. Of course, and a couple
Obi
of other.
Toppin.
Obi Toppin, yeah. If Melo comes, Obi Toppin, AD, and
R.J. Barrett,
R.J. Barrett.
Robinson.
Now the Knicks are looking like they can make some moves to go in this direction, in another direction. But anyway, let me keep this moving on. I'm gonna throw this out there too. I'm always have a Pelican brief out there. So here's my new Pelican brief. I'm not sure if you all are aware, but Davis Bertrand from the Wiz, the sharpshooter, he's out there. He's available. Now, I saw this morning that Golden State Warriors have put out feelers and flyers for him. He literally is 3% lower than who got hurt yesterday?
Klay Thompson?
Yeah, he's 3% lower shooting percentage than Klay Thompson. If he goes to Golden State, does that make Golden State Warriors now back up to being NBA championship caliber because he takes the place of Klay Thompson? You think he's
absolutely? But remember, I'm the guy yesterday that said that I don't think they dip all the way down to the bottom. I think you lose something when Klay goes down, but I don't think you dip to the bottom where you're not a contender for that chip. So that's plugging a hole. That's plugging a leak. So if he coming in, he's only 3% different from shooting. You still going to get the shooting done. You're just going to get it done a little slightly different. See, the thing with Klay is Klay, along with his shooting, he was a very good slasher. You know what I mean? When you watch Klay play, he's a very good slasher. So you lose a little bit of that. But if you can plug the hole of shooting, you're still competitive.
Yeah, not only that, I think you can scare a lot of teams that don't expect you to see you. But Fig, I'm gonna ask you the same thing. I mean, this kid from Davis Bertrand, he plays for the Wiz. He's supposed to be a very good sharpshooter. I can't recall seeing him play too much. I think if he goes there, Golden State could literally make a lot of noise and literally could be in the final. But that's my thought.
I put it to you this way: the one thing, I mean, a lot of people. I'm not one of the guys that focus on offense all the time. Although, like I said, like we talked about yesterday, when the Golden State Warriors was at their height, they were number 1 in the NBA in offense. But then again, they were number 2 in defense in the offense. I mean, in the NBA. And the one thing that I will say about Clay, although he was a superstar shooter, like knocked down, he was the dude who took the point guard or the toughest player on the opposite squad. So Clay's defense, I don't know who's going to take his spot as far as on the defensive end, because he was that guy. Like whoever your tough point guard was, Clay was guarding him for Golden State. Now, I don't know who's going to take that spot. You can fill in the shooting, but can you fill in the defense? And we know that offense fills the stands and defense wins the games. That's what I'm concerned about.
Yeah, I can't dispute that. And speaking of dispute, the Lakers and the Raptors are hot after Tristan Thompson. Now, it's pretty interesting if Tristan Thompson, as we all know, played with LeBron. If he comes to the Lakers and the Lakers lose one or two of those big men that we think that they're going to lose, I don't think they lose a step if they add Tristan Thompson. But what do you think, Talent?
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think they lose a step if they add Tristan. Tristan sometimes gets lost in the the background of underrating sometimes. You know what I mean? Depending on where he is and how the team overall is doing, he easily gets lost. Him and old boy Whiteside. Them two remind me of each other. They're similar.
Yeah.
And they both year to year get shuffled and lost in the background of things, if you will, depending on how the team's doing. But they solid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tristan's a dog.
Tristan could be very solid, man. But you don't hear about him, so you underrate.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you. So, Fig, when you hear Tristan Thompson going in, do you agree that if they lose Dwight Howard or they don't lose or the other guy, do you think they don't lose a step, or what do you think?
You said about Dwight and JaVale. Because here's the thing. Dwight and JaVale McGee never delivered anything on the offensive end.
Right.
You know what I mean? They were basically defensive, get rebounds, maybe a putback shot or two.
So you think they get better by adding him in?
Because I think that's what Tristan did. I think that's what Tristan did for Cleveland when LeBron was there. It's like the same player. He's just younger, and he probably has a little more left in the tank than a Dwight Howard or JaVale McGee. So I like the move. If he ends up on the Lakers, which he probably will, because you play with LeBron. First off, if you're even talking about a team going to a player going to LA, LeBron co-signed it already, even if they're considering it. So he definitely has a good relationship with LeBron, and I can't see it being a bad move. I don't think they lose a step, like you said, Frank.
Right. Keeping this thing moving, the Pacers have made an offer to Gordon Hayward this morning, and the Knicks are making an offer to Gordon Hayward, and the Hawks are making an offer to Gordon Hayward. If as a fan of as a person of this show, you guys know how Gordon Hayward plays. Where would you like to see him play at? It looks like it's going to be Indiana, the Hawks, or the Knicks. Where you want to see him?
Anywhere but here. Don't bring that shit over here. Anywhere but here. Don't do that to me, man. Don't. See, this show is a roller coaster of emotion, man. I'm just feeling good. We're talking AD. We're talking salary, move $40 million, and we're going in the right direction. Carmelo's coming home, and then you bring this shit up. Don't do it. Anywhere.
He's not a bum. Gordon Hayward is not a bum.
I never said the word bum. Don't put words in my mouth. I'm a Christian.
I apologize.
I'm a Christian.
I apologize.
I just don't want him here.
Fig, would you be mad at him? Would you be mad at him if you saw Gordon Hayward in here? Would you be mad?
You know what? I'm going to tell you the truth.
The Knicks, the Hawks, or the Pacers. Where do you think he's going to land?
I think he'll fit it with the Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because with the Knicks, if he came to the Knicks, I think it'd be a log jam. We have too many guys like Gordon Hayward. He's not a point guard. You know what I mean? We got forwards galore. We got all kind of forwards. You know what I mean? We just got Obi Toppin, a forward. We talking about Melo coming back, a forward. RJ Barrett. He's not really a point guard or a number two. He's really a forward. We got the other kid from that we got from New Orleans. The big boy. Can't remember his name off the top of my head. Did very well last year with the Knicks. Another forward. We just got rid of a forward one of the brothers, the Marcus Morris to the Clippers. We just getting another forward. We really need some point guards and some shooters.
So you're saying, I guess Fick is saying that the Knicks is not going to land big spot. You don't care where he lands, but I just want to throw it out there to both of y'all. If Gordon Hayward lands on that team, and you have AD on that team, and you got Carmelo Anthony on that team, you got Oldman and everything else, the Knicks now look like a playoff team. I'll just say that off the top, and especially if Gordon Hayward starts, you know what I mean. The Knicks are going to be a playoff team. But anyway,
if you put all that like that, I wasn't looking like that. You can hide them. You can hide them like that. But I'm just saying in general, like we come with everything. It's like you get the car of your dreams, and so what? They don't have the sunroof.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll take it like that, Frank. Yeah. But just to be saying it like that, don't bring them over here.
Yo, let me tell you. You know what the problem I have with Gordon Hayward right now, since that first injury he had when he went to Boston, he's been sort of injury prone, and Tibbs is known to push his players really hard. Yeah, and I don't think he'll last in New York with a Tibbs coach and his injury history. And I'm a little leery about having players that have an injury history coming to New York anyway, because it's never failed. Any player that has a history of being injured, as soon as they come to New York, you can 100% guarantee there's another injury coming. It's happening with everybody.
This is the concrete jungle, of course.
Yeah. It's happened with Stoudemire, Barrett Davis. I mean, you name it. Any player that we got that had an injury history, they come to New York. Rasheed Wallace, everybody.
Katina Mobley, he didn't even get to play.
Good point. Let me say this, because it looks like 4:00. If I'm not mistaken, free agency is starting at 4:00. Fred VanVleet is getting the offer at 4:00 on the dot from the Miami Heat. Now, whether or not he takes it or not is going to be, something that, because Toronto is also making a contending offer. I don't think Toronto can make the same amount of money offered to him. Now, if you're Fred VanVleet, do you stay in Toronto, talent, or you say, let me go see what's going on down in Miami?
He's going to Miami. Here's the thing: it's not even how you spell these cities. It's about how the last two contenders went at it for the chip. You look at this team right here who didn't get to the chip, offering me money. This team who was just in the chip, contending for the chip. What they want me? I'm going right there. And they got a beach. Oh my!
Oh, they got a lot of They got a lot of beaches in Miami.
They got beaches and beach bunnies. I'm going there. They was
no. Listen to what I'm saying. They got a lot of beaches in Miami.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm going to Miami. It's a no-brainer. The only way you don't go to Miami is if that offer is considerably lower than another offer. Other than that, for VanVleet, let's be real, VanVleet is a modern-day success story. Mm-hmm. Here's a guy 3-4 years ago, nobody knew who the hell VanVleet. I used to make fun. I swear to God, I forgot what game it was, but it was one of those real important series, and he was on fire. And I just, wherever I was, what sports bar I was watching, I'm half drunk, and every time he hit a shot, I was just real loud. VanVleet! Everybody's laughing. I go, VanVleet! So fast forward 2-3 seasons, he's a real deal. Yeah. He's a modern-day NBA success story.
Yeah, absolutely. Vic, what you think?
I like VanVleet a lot better than Kyle Lowry too. Just to throw it out there, I think he's more versatile than Kyle Lowry. And put it to you this way, man, you got Toronto, which is freezing cold. They got to play. And we just talked about earlier in the show, they not even get to play in their own city. So he didn't get to sleep in his own bed. He's not playing in his own city. He gonna go somewhere else anyway.
Hold on. You know what you just did? You just did what rappers do all the time. You just disrespected some innocent guy chilling somewhere. Ain't got nothing to do with the conversation. You said, let me tell you something. I like VanVleet better than Kyle Lowry.
Yo, Tom, you know what it's like? It's like you in a fight and you losing, and somebody laughing on the side. You be like, yo, what he laughing at?
That's what you said.
Yo, but anyway, I'm sorry, Kyle Lowry. I'm sorry. But yo, Toronto got mad taxes. They got high taxes, yo.
True.
You go to Florida, there's no taxes. You got Pat Riley. You got Jimmy Butler. You got no taxes. You got a chance to win another chip, because you already got one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's South Beach, baby. Warm weather. What you gonna do?
I can't knock none of that stuff you said. All I can say is I'd be really nervous if I'm Toronto and he takes a trip to Miami. I'd be really nervous. It's one thing to get an offer from Miami. It's another thing if Pat Riley sends the shuttle to come pick him up and say, "Why don't you come down here and take a look? Just come take a look. Look at our facility and everything else." Because there's not been one player in the history of Miami Heat who's ever gone and turned around and left. Not one.
Frank, I like how you modestly called the Learjet the shuttle. If they send the shuttle, oh, you mean the Learjet? It's over, right? It's over.
But we all know. Am I lying? We all know. And when he sends that shuttle, he's not coming back. He's not coming back.
What's going to be on the shuttle that they send, Frank?
Well, I don't know. I have yet to be on that shuttle. and these rings on my finger do not allow me to be on that shuttle. I don't get that pass.
You want to know what's going to be on that shuttle? Text Jesus Shuttleworth.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I can't knock that. But anyway, we gotta get ready to bring in my man, Mr. Rodney Perry, because we always have something to agree or disagree about. Mr. Rodney Perry. So since you up,
let's go. It's your boy Rodney Perry. Let's get underway. Rodney, I disagree, Perry, with my host, Analogy Harris, Pelican Brief holder, and new to the group, Minority Report Freud. Let's get it on. You guys. All right. First of all, let's get right to it. Y'all talked about Toronto. Here goes. Canada not playing with COVID.
Right.
My boys up there shooting right now. You have a 14-day quarantine period you gotta have. Ain't gonna be no you might be able to make it work. Toronto is not the city of the country of Canada is not bullshitting with COVID.
Right.
My language.
That's true.
All right. Every day. Every single day. And it ain't me. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. But I gotta be ridiculed by talent. And tell me, well, you a Bulls fan? Yes, I'm a Bulls fan. But AD ain't coming to New York for no reason. AD is not coming to New York. AD is not coming for a vacation. AD is not coming for Thanksgiving. AD is not coming for Halloween. AD is not coming for a ball drop on New Year's Eve.
That's fun.
AD ain't coming.
You're not coming?
He's not coming. Now, Rich Paul has been known to be a shrewd dude and do deals. He tell the dude, opt out. We gonna chill for a minute. Don't trip. We gonna get the paper. The Lakers is gonna deal with us. We don't have to opt in yet. We don't have to do none of that yet. So they chilling. Next point, Tristan Thompson. This is like it's like a pickup game. You pick up the guys you like to roll with.
Yeah.
Hey Tristan, we got you. Come on, come around with it.
Right.
Now, I think even Figs said it today, and we know we can't rely on Figs anyway. So But JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard together combined for a grand total of negative 12 points. They owe us points from last season. They owe points. JaVale McGee successfully kicked the ball out of bounds 100 times. So Tristan Thompson might be an upgrade. Maybe an upgrade. So here we go again. Same show. Y'all doubled up on me. I said, okay, we got our Knicks out the way. We talked about AD. No. Then y'all don't want Gordon Hayward. How dare you not want anybody? How dare you, Knicks? How dare you? We don't need no forward. How much the hell you got forward? I got a forward. No, you got backwards. Y'all don't have no forward. Y'all all going backwards.
Oh, God.
Van Fleet is not guaranteed to go to Miami. I'm going to say it. I'm going to tell you why. Let me tell you something about NBA players. They're the best trained athletes in the world, but let me tell you something about Miami, though. Miami worked them guys really hard down there, man. They got to go to practice every day. Man, ain't no days off. If you're a real player, you like, so wait, hold on, dog. Y'all practice every day? I don't know if I mess with y'all like that, dog. I mean, I play on game day. I ain't got time to be practicing. Like Pat Riley be running them guys ragged. He wants the best conditioned team, and Van Vliet a little rotund.
Mm-hmm. What? He's what?
He's rotund. He's a little,
The word of the day is rotund. You got people breaking out their dictionary and thesaurus trying to figure out what rotund is.
They know. He's a bit robust. He's girthy. He's he's a little thick.
Hey, is he husky, Rodney?
He's husky. Matter of fact, he might be wearing some husky jeans right now.
Right, we talking about.
All right. Finally,
Portly. That's what they call portly.
Portly is a good one, Fig. Couple of final points. First of all, Fig's hair is impeccable today, and I can't let the show go by without mentioning it. I hate it. It's amazing. He has his fade together. He got his products in there just right. And I hate it with a passion. I hate his hair as much as he hates Kyle Lowry.
Rodney Perry.
Ah!
Can you put your glasses on and see in the future for me, please? See if AD trying.
Man, you know what? My kids are messing with my stuff. I can't find my glasses.
Okay. I wouldn't
save it though. Come to me Monday. I got a full future look. We're gonna look at the draft. We're gonna look at the NBA, the NFL, everything. We're gonna look down the line and we're gonna figure it all out.
Okay, all right. Well, let me finish this conversation with the NBA because in the 6 minutes I want to do the top dogs. But speaking of, since we still talk about the NBA and things going back and forth like that, I'm gonna throw this out there to you, Fig, and start out with you. Because JJ Redick is another player right now who got a kite from Golden State Warriors. So I guess the thing is this: does JJ Redick sign with the Golden State Warriors if you're him? You know what I mean? Because I don't know what his percentage-wise is a shooter with Golden State, but Golden State is clearly on the lookout for a 3-point shooter who's going to take the place for Clay because they're trying to win that chip this year. So that's what they're thinking of. So
I like JJ Redick because JJ Redick he reminds me of a version of Steph Curry. He moves a lot without the ball, and that's a skill that a lot of players don't have and not able to grasp the concept of moving without the ball. And he doesn't need a lot of time to get his shot off. JJ Redick would be an excellent addition to a team like Golden State and their system where they move without the ball and end up getting open shots. That would be a nightmare to have to chase JJ Redick and Steph Curry around on the same floor at the same night. That would be a nightmare for the visiting teams.
Right. Talon, what you think? When you hear JJ Redick is at least exploring the option of going to Golden State, and Golden State is exploring the option of signing him, what's your thought process when you hear about that?
I'm with Fig. That would be a nightmare. He's one of my favorite shooters, by the way. Like JJ Redick, he plays the game the way a shooter's supposed to play the game. There's only a handful of those guys that are still playing like that. And he's consistent, bro. Like no matter what team you're on, when the game's on the line and it's a big crucial game, your team that's defending, you're worried about JJ Redick. Like he's a shooter. He's a shooter. Like you know how people say I'm your favorite comedian's favorite comedian. He's your favorite shooter's favorite shooter.
Yeah.
There he is with an analogy, Rodney Perry. You heard that? I like that. That was a good one.
I wasn't gonna touch it. I
like that, but that was a good one. You hear how that comedian's your favorite comedian? He's your shooter's favorite. Yo, that was the quote of the week right there.
He had me at shooter.
Yeah, I didn't know what he was talking about, where he was going with that, but when he said, you know how you have your comedian who's a favorite comedian, yeah,
I can always see it coming way before that. I was like,
Tally got me with that one. Tally, I gotta give you that one, bro. That was good. But anyway, when you hear that, Rodney Perry, when you hear that JJ Redick is going to Golden State, what do you think about that, man? I mean, you know, JJ Redick is
you know what, dude? And I know this is gonna be unpopular. But Golden State is going to be a golden pile of dookie.
What? Okay.
Yes. Golden State is going to be a golden pile of dung, dookie, feces.
Okay.
Write it down. They wasn't good last year. They lose Klay Thompson, who was a linchpin piece to their puzzle, and they trying to put a new guy in there to hopefully fill his void. His void is huge.
Yeah,
his void is huge. When the last time they were really good, they had my man with the Achilles. That's it.
Kevin Durant.
They had Kevin Durant, right? You got Steph Curry, who's small. He probably still shoot lights out, but we ain't guaranteed nothing else. Draymond is done.
Okay, let me for the record, I'm going to throw this out to you, Rodney Perry. I disagree. Klay Thompson was the only, last year when they were hurt, Klay Thompson was out, Steph Curry was hurt. They didn't have no bench. They were a mess. They got their bench together. They got Andrew Wiggins. They got that. They just drafted that kid, James. Now I can't think of his name.
James Wiseman.
They just drafted him. And Lord knows if they get JJ Redick on that team with already Steph Curry, they're gonna be good. They ain't gonna be no pile of dookie. So for the record, I formally disagree with you.
They're a pile of dookie relative to where they were.
Yeah, but they're not there now, right now.
Yeah.
They're not right there.
Everybody looking at them like they still the Golden State that won the chip. They won 70-something games. They're not gonna be that.
Rodney Perry, they won 2 championships before Kevin Durant even walked through the door. So they still are going.
Yo, you know what? Here's the thing. I think where Rodney Perry is going is kind of right. If you are the frame of mind that the Golden State Warriors is going to be a lock, because with KD, what they were before the season started was a lock to win the championship. If Steph Curry and the rest of those players, not talking about Klay Thompson, stay healthy, I give the Golden State Warriors anywhere between 8-4 in the West. I think they could go as high as 4, and certainly not below 8. So anywhere in that range in the West, I think they could. I think they could get there.
How about this, Mr. Figg?
And last but not least,
I'm sorry.
In the playoffs, they're gonna be a problem because they've been there and done that.
Go ahead, Rodney.
But how about this? And how about all these emerging teams that play like them? People like Portland, people like my man out in Denver. They play like like Golden State, and they're younger and scrappier. Like one of the things that was dope about Golden State is they were young. They were young. They not young no more.
Talent, you gonna let him get away with that? Talent, you gonna let him get away with that comment?
I disagree. I gotta disagree with you too, Rodney. I think that because somebody hits an injury-prone year and dip out, you gotta realize you gotta judge them on where they were at the moment they stopped. At the moment they stopped, that's a championship caliber team that the next year got the injuries and they're out. So when they take that year to come back, you can't throw them at the bottom without seeing what they come back as. You got to see them at the
2 years though.
They went out.
It ain't 1 year. It's 2 years.
No, this is 2 years without the chip, but not. This is 1 year with the injury straight through. You can't. Right. We just had a half a season.
Right.
It's 1 year and a COVID. We don't know who's sneezing over there.
1 year and a COVID.
It's 1.19.
Fig, are you ready for your top dogs?
Absolutely.
All right, man. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're ready for the top dogs, let me hear your ball. Because the top dog season, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going with number one. Actually, we just seen this boy last night, but last week he was absolutely off the chain. My man Kyler Murray with the Cardinals over the Bills in a shootout, 32-30 with the Hail Murray. He threw it to DeAndre Hopkins, baby, with the catch. That is absolutely known as the catch. Actually, Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins is 1 and 2 for me because, listen, with a catch like that, you got to be a top dog, baby. He caught it over 3 players in the end zone. The clock was running down to win the game. I got to give it to my man Kyler Murray for throwing it and DeAndre Hopkins for catching that ball in the end zone. That's what I'm trying to talk about, man. The imitation of the great Aaron Rodgers. They say flattery. They say imitation is the greatest form of flattery, ladies and gentlemen. I got to give it to my man Kyler Murray and honorable mention DeAndre Hopkins. As a matter of fact, Kyler Murray threw for over 245 yards and 1 touchdown, but it was the touchdown. Ladies and gentlemen, on number 3, I got to give it to my man, Tampa Tom Brady, the elder statesman, getting it done again, ladies and gentlemen. The bounce back over the route of the Carolina Panthers. He was 46-23, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions for the elder statesman, and he is known as the GOAT of the NFL, ladies and gentlemen, giving it to Terrible Tom from a number 3. And ladies and gentlemen, I got to give it to Ronald Jones II, 192 yards rushing, 1 TD, 98 yards run, getting it done. He was getting it done, a 98-yard run to win that game, ladies and gentlemen. Then, last but not least, I got to give it to the young man, the rookie, turning Miami around. We just talked about Miami. Turning Miami around. I got to give it to Tua Tagovailoa. 169 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Miami crushing the LA Chargers. Those are my top dogs of the week. And if you like the top dogs, let me hear your ball.
All right, y'all. We got to join my man, Mr. Anthony C. Hall, who is expecting him for today's show. Actor, producer, director, writer, probably both shows, Blue Chip, Sunset Park, and Players Ball. Anthony Hall, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for joining the show. You're the latest devil, bro. We appreciate you. How you doing today?
Yo, and I'm an idiot. I was sitting down having breakfast, enjoying myself, and talent hit me. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm late.
That's what happened when you global, my brother.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what happens like that.
You look like you're at some sort of airport or something now.
He might be at a Starbucks.
Hopefully he's not a Knicks fan. If then he's probably on time.
Wow, really, dude? Really? That's how you gonna do it? Okay. All right. Well, he having technical difficulties anyway, so we might have to reboot him in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me remove him. Let me add him back in and see if he can come back in. And he's still, I don't know, man. We might have to bring him in another day because the show's about to find out.
We got to wind down anyway, so let's bring him back on Monday or something.
Okay. Well, at least we heard him say 2 or 3 words, right? So people know we didn't do no false advertisement.
I think I heard him say "Go Knicks."
Is that what he said?
No.
He was like, I love the box seats.
No, he said I like your kicks. He didn't say go Knicks.
Frank is on fire.
He didn't say go Knicks. I'm gonna retract him one more time. He's
in a bad place.
He got to hit him up. All right, so I want to leave y'all with this last question before you roll up out of here, because tonight I think we're gonna find out for the weekend. I'm gonna start with you, Talent. Serge Ibaka, what do you think he ends up? Where do you think he lands? Because Serge Ibaka is highly touted right now, along with Montrezl Harrell. But I think Serge.
Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah, Montrezl Harrell. That's what I meant. Where do you think he's gonna lead that minute?
Whenever you correct Frank, he get mad a little bit.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't doubt Frank. I'm gonna tell you something. You pick your 4 top contenders, 2 West and 2 East, and I guarantee you, Serge will end up on one of your 4 top contenders. So that being in the West, I think Serge will end up either Lakers or Clippers, and I think on the East he'll end up Milwaukee, or Frank. I know you're gonna love this. You might get him in Boston.
Bingo.
I didn't want to say that.
In Boston, actually.
I didn't want to say that. It took everything. I didn't want to say that. I'm having a stroke because I said that. I didn't want to say that.
Don't have.
You got 60 seconds. What do you think he lands?
Man, I got one spot, man. I thought as soon as you said it, the first team that I thought of was the Celtics, because that's the one team that I know that really needs somebody of his caliber, somebody that could play the middle. And he could also knock down shots from the outside. I love him. If Danny can pull that off, Danny Ainge can pull that off, that would be great for Boston.
I would absolutely love it to see that, but it all depends on the money. Rodney Perry, where you see him land at?
You know what I see? You know what I see? I see the conspiracy. Frank brings up the Knicks. Big brings up Boston.
You're gonna bring up the Lakers, so let's just get it out of the way. Let's get out of the way. You gonna bring up the Lakers?
No. All jokes aside, I think Boston would be a great home for him, man. You know, he's not a traditional black person. Boston don't really like real black people, so he's from another country. Everybody know that. And I think he's Cape Verdean or something like that, so he's gonna fit in really well in the Boston area, man. Shouts out to the homie. I hope he gets to go up there and experience some real racism.
You know what's funny about that, Rocky? You're right about that. But black people buy the most Boston paraphernalia of all the leagues, or baseball, basketball, it don't even football. But you're right, they're the least liked, but the most revenue comes from our peeps.
Yo, man, let me tell you something. I didn't even think about this until Rodney said it with the golden hat. Yo, man, if he ends up on the Lakers, that is scary, B, because he could knock down shots and he could play the center position that Anthony Davis doesn't like to play.
Yeah,
if he plays the 5 and 8, do you know what kind of problem it is to have 2 bigs that are mobile, agile, and can knock down shots?
Well, we have to go now. We have to go now. But I'm gonna leave y'all with this: people in Boston buy the most paraphernalia because we win. So talent, take it with that. We win. We win. So everybody have to how we can follow you. How we can follow you.
That hurt, didn't it? That slapped me across the face like affirmative action. Anyway, let me say this, Frank. I just got the confirmation text from Anthony. He's good for Monday. Next week will be a power pack guest week because we got Anthony. We got Shannon Briggs, a.k.a. Cannon Briggs, boxer, heavyweight, going to talk about that big fight coming up.
Very dope.
Talk about the MMA fights. We got your boy, Russell Peterson. So we got a power pack we could guess. Y'all can find me on Twitter at on IG and King Talon Harris on Facebook.
Fig.
Tune in to the next
action-packed show of the box seats next week. We're going to have some sexy guests, baby. And if you want to find your boy Fig, you can follow him on Comedian Fig on social media platforms. I might be hanging out with that dude, or I could be hanging out with that dude over there, or the dude up, let me see. I don't know how to point to Frank, but you know, is that way. Wait a minute. Yeah.
Hey, Rodney Perry, the RodneyPerry.com is the website. Rodney Perry Live on all social media. It took me all night to get this, Frank. You said no more New Edition. There's only one other African-American artist from Boston, and it's Gangstar.
I knew he was going to do that. I knew he was going to do that. All right, y'all. That's the show. Hey, Amir, I see you. I'm telling them how I really feel. Yo, that is the box seat show. That's Rodney. That's Big. That's Talent. I'm Frank. See y'all every Monday, Friday from 1 to 2 o'clock. It's still called the box seat. Till then, y'all have a good weekend. We'll see y'all then. Get the